Hey, so there are lots of good reasons why I'm not a non-dual teacher. Um, first of all, I'm, relatively new to it, as in like a couple of years. Um, I feel like it kind of needs to steep and deepen for, a decade at least before you start thinking about that. And also like it's not something that you think about. It's something that um, if it's real, it kind of presents itself, basically. So, yeah, and also these videos, I am talking to myself more than anyone else. It's like because, I'll have an insight and then I'll kind of tuck it away in my brain, like, oh, I had that insight. And then I find I'm like, I'm not actually doing it. I'm not actually living it. Or I'll, or I'll forget, and it's like I need to go back and watch the video and be like, oh, yeah, shit, okay. Because this stuff, it's not easy. There are habit energies that have been going on for decades, in some cases, maybe centuries, maybe millennia. And, you know, um, I'm not expecting myself to magically kind of, break all these things in 2 years, you know. Um, in the fetters, the fetters, I don't think it's as simple as like, oh, I broke it. Now, now it's like, no, it's like you might break it and then it might come back. Um, and I say all this not to be discouraging, but just to say, like, give yourself grace. This is a life's work. And again, I'm saying that to myself as much as anybody. Um, it's not just like, well, I'm really good at this, 1 or 2 years, I'll be enlightened. Um, Maybe it happens for some people. Even in that case, I might wonder, what sort of got skipped or bypassed. But who knows? Maybe some people really are savants. I mean, some people can play piano without any, without any learning or practice. So I'm sure it's possible. Um, but yeah, it's not something that's in my experience. In my experience, it's a lot of, um, sort of spirals, you know, not just a linear, like, okay, now I'm here, got it. Um, Yeah, and lately I got really caught up in current events again. Thoreau said, read not the times, read the eternities. Um, but then there's that quote by Plato. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Uh, Basically saying, those who, it's okay, I can find it. If you do not take an interest in the affairs of your government, then you are doomed to live under the rule of fools. Yeah, basically what's happening, right? Um, And that has always haunted me my entire life. Like I said, I got a minor in political science in college, even though I hate politics, hate it, hate everything about it. Um, Greasy careerist polls, not interesting to me, not and very distasteful to me. Um, there are people who really go into it for public service, um, but even that often gets warped. So it's really a sad mess, and the sadness and the messiness have been ramping up lately in some really, really disheartening ways. So it's relatively easy to get caught up in it. And especially when really sad things happen, really unfair things happen, really gruesome things happen, like a confluence of all of those things and worse. And it's like the fact remains ruminating on somebody else's misfortune does not help them. There are things I can do, I do them, And then it's kind of like, that's what I can do right now. I do have a family. I have people who count on me, and I have a feeling there is benefit to the work that I'm doing. It's hard work too, humbling work, unsung work, unappreciated work. It does nothing for the ego. It really doesn't. I mean, like, nobody notices. I can't post an update about it in any way that anyone's going to be like, oh, hey, good job, congratulations. Uh, so it feels like what I feel called to do. Is that good enough? Gonna have to be, I guess. But anyway, point being, I did get caught up in things, and I did get just yeah, really, really snagged by what's been going on. And I wrote, sometimes I can go for a while just flowing, just one thing after another, just doing what I want to do, following my little bliss. The sort of the Taoist thing of like, you're here, it's now, the next thing presents itself. There's no future, there's no past. From Lake Geneva to the Fanland Station, it's Pet Shop Boys lyrics. But it's really kind of anchored in presence, relatively, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but let's say relatively. And then suddenly I'll snap back like, oh, okay, but what about the rest of the world? Okay, what about history? Okay, but what about being a good person? Okay, but what's the goal? And my guess is that there's going to be kind of longer stretches of flow, even though that's kind of trying to plan again and putting time into things. But yeah, I mean, I think if I keep sort of practicing as best I can, I'll start to get used to it, and also probably, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? That's the point. You don't know. Maybe it'll lead to something, maybe it won't, but it's not the point. And I know that, but I keep coming back to, okay, but what's the point? What's the goal? Okay, right. Flow, flow, flow. Okay. But it's like there's something that still doesn't trust it yet. That still wants some kind of outside affirmation. Here, now, that's it. That's always it. But yeah, but it's like there's still, I guess it's doubt. I guess it's that feeling of there being some kind of like overarching dome over this presence. Like there's some context it's in that I should understand, because otherwise I'm flying blind. But fact is, I'm flying blind. The system still doesn't like that. Oh, check out my uh, soccer jersey. Isn't that fun? My over 40 soccer team, the Cougars. Um, yeah, so yeah, just still in it, in the mix, in the woods. Sometimes I forget I'm in the woods and I get in my little imaginary driver's seat, but a little bit less as time goes on.